In today's video, I have 3 goals that I'm going to try and accomplish, 2 of which are going to be quite simple for me. The third one is a little questionable. So the best way for me to go about this is to start with goal number 1, which is going to be to show you guys how to make these beautiful and simple cutting boards in your own shop at home. All right, guys, so goal number 1 for me is quite simple to achieve, and that's because I love woodworking, and all of these things that I'm doing here, I'm just so used to doing. So to make this simple and beautiful cutting board, all you really need is to get some lumber to start off with. I chose to go with a Wenge. That's going to be my accent strips, and the teak wood, which is going to be the main portion of this cutting board. So the first steps that I had to do was to get that Wenge cut down to the size I wanted it at, and get these teak boards ran through the jointer and planer in order to get them square and nice and cleaned up and ready for the next step, which was going to be the glue up process. Now, if you're anything like me, you're going to go overboard on the glue, and that's fine, because you really just want to make sure you have enough rather than not have enough. So go overboard, squeeze out that 30 cents. Trust me, you won't regret it at the end when you know that that board's really going to stay together. So after your boards are all glued up and you've got them cleaned up pretty well, what I like to do at that point is return to the miter saw and cut off both ends where I had some snipe from the thickness planer. So it's a very common practice to build your boards over the size that you need them at, because it's easier to cut them down at the end than it is to try and fix those problems later on when you don't have enough material left. Now, this is a simple jig that I built in order to create those juice grooves and also the handles. So all I had to do was measure on my router to the center of the bit, and for me it ended up turning out to be 6 centimeters that I needed away from the board to get the juice groove to kind of fall where I wanted it to. So it was very simple to build. All of the bottom pieces I just cut on the table saw to a 6 centimeters wide, and then I just made sure that the top portion that was going to be kind of like the fence that I run the router against was higher than my cutting boards. That way my router had a place to butt up against and gave me a nice bit of control while working around all of the corners. Now, when you're doing this routing process, just make sure to take your time. Clean it off throughout passes. Make sure that you're only taking minimal amounts of the material off per pass. That way you don't end up with burn marks, and it gives you less of a chance of having any slippage happen while you're routing. Another trick is to make sure that your speed settings are set correctly. So, as you can see right here, I think I had the speed a little too high for this router bit. Good rule of thumb is the larger the bit, the slower the speed. So, learn from my mistakes and just make sure that you turn that speed down if you're using large router bits. And if you have smaller ones, you can go ahead and turn that speed up. Now you can see for this jig, all I had to do was reverse those initial pieces to where it was snug against my cutting board. And then I put a little top plate 10 centimeters away, and that just gave me the distance that I wanted for these handles to be routed in. Now I'm gonna spare you guys the footage of just how much sanding I really put into this before I was able to apply an oil finish, but I made sure to work my way through all of the grits, water popping in between, and hand sanding every single juice groove corner and handle corner. It was just a ton. But after that, you're ready for everyone's favorite part, which is always applying the oil. Now I went with a Tung oil finish here, so this is something that you have to apply over a long period of time. And the best way to go about it is just to really get a nice thick coat on it at first. Let it sit there for about 15 to 20 minutes or so, and then wipe everything off. And you're going to repeat this process for the next few weeks to come, just making sure to work your way up to about 3 or 4 coats, or whatever feels great for you. So after I let that tung oil cure for a while and did all of my necessary coats, it was time to install these legs. Now I just made sure that I had them equally spaced from side to side before being able to mark the center where I'm going to be drilling the holes. And the best way for me to do that was to set up a jig on the drill press, and this is going to make it a lot easier and make sure that every single corner is the exact same. Now make sure to set your depth gauge to the correct size for your screws. That way you don't drill all the way through your board on accident. After that, all that's left is to screw on the legs, and then you've got yourself a finished cutting board. With goal number 1 out of the way, we can move on to goal number 2, and that's going to be showing you guys the entire inventory of what I'm going to be bringing to the local markets here in Bordeaux, France. And what I want you guys to do is drop a comment below and let me know what's missing from this lineup, or things that you know sell well at these local markets. That way I don't go there and make a complete fool of myself. So drop a comment below and let me know what will do well in this lineup that we have over here. And here's what we have so far. Got some phone holders, wine holders that will hold your glasses as well, cheese knives made out of complete scrap wood, real knives, cutting boards of course, custom made egg holders, charcuterie boards, little boxes, beautiful mallet, just all kinds of things that I think will do really well at the local markets here. And that brings us to goal number 3. This is the tough one, and that's going to get you guys to subscribe to this channel. So what I offer on my live streams is for my subscribers, they get to choose all of the details that they want while we're making things on the stream. So right now we're working on these knives, and I had 3 different subscribers choose all of the wood patterns, the types of wood, the type of blade that they wanted to see on their knife. So every single one of these was custom made by one of my subscribers, and I ask for nothing. I just ask for them to show up and tell me what they want to see. So maybe that could be you next time. All right, that's enough asking for things. Drop a like if you like the video. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon. I don't know where it appears on here, but do those things, and we'll see you next time. Peace. Today's video is going to be quite simple. I guess it's not as simple as it is because I cannot do this talking part right now. Hey guys, today I am going to... that's not how we start this game. If you're not already a subscriber, then you're not a subscriber. Let's rewind. Okay. Trying to do it in one take, and that's hard. That's hard stuff. I don't want to do 1, 2, 3 and then cut into the video, so I don't know what to do right now. All right, guys, in today's video, so that you guys can make it at homes by yourself. Damn it, I had it. We were getting somewhere. What's up, guys? So today in this video, I have 3 goals. That makes 6. That's not 3. Market, and well, it's not really a goal. Let's think about this for a second. In your own shop. So let's roll clip. That was dumb. Is to knock the first one out of the way. Getting somewhere, thinking creatively.